We're going to show you how to get the content from your session plan on the right into a reasonable PowerPoint on the left, which is the template provided in both your exercise files and on your Moodle platform. So firstly, we're going to title our session. We get the title from the session plan title. So I've put in the title, and I've also used as a subtitle the overall context of this workshop, which is ensuring a safe workplace. That doesn't have to be in there, but I think it just adds a little bit more focus to what our session is all about. Now, before we get on to design ideas, we'll just complete the remainder of these PowerPoints. Firstly, key point 1. If you can recall, we wanted to explain the required personnel when determining a workplace health and safety consultation arrangement. So I'm going to cut and paste that into key point 1. So I'm going to edit that down to just the required personnel, because everybody attending the session already knows that this is about workplace health and safety. Learning point 1 and 2 we'll get from the points that we'd already put into our session plan. Now, we don't want too much text on the slide because remember, in instruction, it's like a backdrop more than it is a lesson in itself. So at this stage, even that I might just reduce down to the various acts, because that will lead us on to discussing, if you look back over here on the session plan, all these points. Next is key point 2, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut and paste the title of our second point over here, keep the text. What does a consultative arrangement look like? I might leave that as the title. And if you can recall, this was going to be run as an activity. So I'm going to pop down these key points and leave it at that for now. The conclusion slide is going to be a Q&A. And I mentioned before that I'm probably going to have the answers come up on the slide. So for this moment, I'll create another text box and paste these over here and just keep text only. And I'm just going to put the answers only. And I will animate those to come in once we've discussed them. So that's the basics. Looks terrible at the moment. So let's go back now and create these design ideas. So I'm going to click on the design ideas. It should generate something to do with work health and safety, but we'll see. The AI isn't perfect. So it's up to us now to pick a design we like for this presentation. You can see here there's a video background. There's a nice basic blue, a nice colourful one here with some blues and oranges. So it's really up to you and your design ideas. Could keep it nice and simple. In fact, I think that's what we'll do today. And you can see here that the first slide has now been determined by the AI as the theme. So it will always suggest the theme that suits that. So let's have a look. We'll click on that. And look at this, it even puts in the icons here. So work health and safety, it's also got a picture of a judge here because obviously it's an act and there's a duty. So I quite like that, I might leave that as it is. The third slide, again, I might leave that as is, looks fine. And finally, this might be a bit difficult. Yeah, see, so it says, sorry, no design ideas available. Reason being is the text all over the place, the conclusion part's down here and so on. So we might have to design this a little bit ourselves. So I'm just going to pop the conclusion up at the top. I'm going to move the answers to the questions down there. Now Q&A was the title of this end of the session. So I'm going to pop that up there and align it with the left-hand side there. The text here looks a bit boring, so I'm just going to change that to my Avenir. Going to make it a bit bigger. And remember I said I want these to animate in. So I'm going to make them a bit bigger to start with. I might even put the word answers in here. Now we can be a bit colourful, so I might just make them a bit larger, bold, and make them the blue colour that suits the rest of the slides here. So to match the rest of the slides, because it hasn't come up with its own design idea here, there's two things I'm going to do. Firstly, go back. I'm going to look at the type of font, so it's a Calibri Light Headings 51. I'm going to copy that using the copy format button up here on the left. I'm going to go to this slide. And that's done it. Now it's made it white, of course, because it's in the background, and that's fine. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a box around it to look similar to those other shapes. So I'm going to pop that up here, and I'm going to send it to the back so our text comes to the front. You can see the Q&A text there is hard to see, so I might just make that white. Move this into the center, lines up nicely. And I'm going to click on animations. I want it to zoom in like that once everyone's discussed. and it's going to be on a click. So basically, once we've answered all the questions in class, we click on the answers and it comes out. This is a simple looking slideshow, but I think at this stage, for the purposes of this, we've managed to take the content from our session plan, put it over here. Now we're going to look at putting in some notes. So the notes are at the bottom of the slideshow here. Now I've decided to put all my session plan notes into the PowerPoint to make the PowerPoint my facilitator guide. In which case I take all of the information from my session plan and pop it in here. That way, rather than have a separate session plan open, I can quite literally use the slideshow as my session plan. And there you go, a completed PowerPoint presentation with all the instructor notes in there, nice and clear, really covers the content well and provides us some guidance along the way.